think I might be blocking the microphone. Good after morning. It's morning. I am just making a mini blog, and I'm probably going to delete this right after. But YouTube is confusing. YouTube is mad confusing, bro. And we're going to talk about that. Because tell me why we go through this whole gambit of like, my thumbnail has to be that, the video structure has to be this, the video has to be themed around this. Like, there's all these rules, right? There's all these freaking rules. And I feel like all it does is give creators stress and confusion. And the reason why I'm like kind of annoyed at it, besides the fact that it just adds stress and confusion to shit, is because I look back at my old videos trying to gain some sort of understanding, some sort of like clarity, I guess, right? About this or these rules. It's more than just one. These like rules of YouTube, right? These suggestions on how to do your stuff. And tell me why I made my best videos, according to the stats, when I didn't follow any of that, bro. Like, not a lick. I didn't follow none of that. Dude, you go back and look at my top performing videos. Some of them kind of follow it, a little bit. But there was no, like, plan. I was just out there, just whipping the camera out, hitting record, and just going, dude. Like, literally just going. No intent behind anything other than just to capture, to document. Right? Same thing in the editing room, bro. Like, there was no design. I had a little bit of a frame of like what my blog was, like how I made my vlogs and stuff like that. But it was so loose compared to like what I feel like it has to be now. Like, it was so loose, bro. I didn't give a hoot about freaking music. I didn't care about freaking transitions or cuts or anything. Like, bro, I had the most like just authentic raw vlog style, and it was all just focusing on the moment. And now I think I'm gonna go back to that. Not kidding. Because I'm just so tired of like feeling like it has to be a certain way. And I think I'm making this video for the person who feels like it has to be a certain way. Like myself. Yes, I still have my Christmas tree up in January. I don't care. It's still the holidays around here. Yeah, man. Like, why do we do that? Why do we do that? Why do we overcomplicate this stuff? It doesn't have to be that complicated. This is the vlog. I literally got an urge. Like, this is the part where we do the instruction, right? Let's bring you guys in a little closer. All right. This is the part where we do the instruction, okay? This is the how-to of my vlog. It's gonna be this simple. Ready? When you get the urge to create, when the inkling hits you, do your best to just try to act on it, okay? You don't have to like commit fully to like, if I don't act, I failed. Because I feel like if you do that, that's a trap, right? But if you commit to trying to act on it, then that is like the sweet spot. Because when you try, you remove the pressure and you just show up, you do it, right? And lo and behold, like, I didn't expect this to develop into 4 or 5 minutes of like what's probably a decent little rant, and that I will actually now probably post. But it did, because I just went with it, and this was one of the topics that was on my mind, right? When I got the download for the topic, it was like, I think like 11:30. So like, I could have gotten out of bed and done that, but like, it just didn't feel like the time. So I grabbed my phone instead, jotted down the idea, and then saved it for later, right? Which is another thing, is like, if you get that like ping, that download, it doesn't mean that you have to act on it like right then and there. That's why I said like, don't commit fully to like, if I don't act, I failed. Because then that means I would have had to get up out of bed, and you don't got to do all that. Do the next best thing. Or like, again, just commit to trying. So I tried by like writing down the idea and saving it for later. That's enough. And then the next time it hit me, the next inkling that like came out of me, here we are. So yeah, man, I think YouTube doesn't make any sense. And I'm kind of over trying to play by rules that don't really make me feel like I want to create, you know? It's one thing to have a branded page and do all that stuff, but like, bro, like the branded page won't even exist if you don't make stuff. So like, I am gonna go back to the beginning. I had to like let that out. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and I'm just gonna start whipping out the camera, making stuff for fun. And in doing that, I will try and, you know, adhere to said rules. But like, if it starts getting too stressy, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. They know, you know, I'm not doing it. I think that's it. Let me see, hold on. Finn, is there anything else that we should be doing? Mr. Popeyes. Okay. He has no comment on the matter, right? I hate how like I'm one thing about dogs. I don't know. My dog can't be the only one. He does this thing where like, he'll be like waiting for me to go into a room, and then as soon as I move to go into said room or go up the stairs or whatever, he wants to move too, but he wants to move directly in front of me, in between my feet. So like, I'm literally doing this like, it's like when the person that you're walking towards, it's like you and the other person on the street, and then they decide when you go left, they want to go left. When you go right, they want to go right, right? It's like that, but he's doing it directly in front of me, in between my feet. So I'm trying to like shuffle around him, and he's literally just, and I'm like, and I almost step on him. Anyways, okay, rant over. YouTube can be confusing. I do think that there is a science to ruling the algorithm. And if you find a way to nail that science, great. But I just don't think that it has to be like by the book entirely all the time. Because if you look at some of my oldest videos, they don't really play by the book. I literally have a thumbnail that's like a shadow, and it has like 4,000 views. So, yeah. That's it for today. Peace.